just a touch away. Monday to Friday at 12:30 p.m. only on Bloomberg Quint.
Hello and welcome. You are watching Ask BQ on Bloomberg Quint. I am Agam Makil and with me is Alex Matthew. Hi Alex.
Hey Agam. Well, if you've got questions on equity, then this is the perfect show for you. You can send those queries to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and WhatsApp, or you can call us on 022-454-04141. You can also mail us on askbq@bloombergquint.com. Only make sure to add the Ask BQ hashtag.
Before we start taking in our queries, a very quick look at the markets. Well, another range-bound day of trade with the benchmark indices trading, well, marginally in the green for now. The Nifty advancing by around 0.2% and the Sensex higher by a third. Your Nifty banking index is slightly higher now. At 27,600, with the mid-cap and the small-cap indices showing no gains at all, in fact, marginally in the red, so lagging the benchmark indices for the second straight day. Taking a look at the key gainers and losers, we have something like an Axis Bank advancing in trade, Wipro and Eicher Motors. Eicher Motors for the second straight day now gaining, so its short covering rally continues. Tech Mahindra and Indiabulls Housing along with UPL among others which are advancing in trade. Taking a look at those which are losing out, GAIL is actually down by as much as 4%, and we do have a lot of weakness in all OMCs, which include HPCL, BPCL, as well as Indian Oil Corporation. And among other losers too, among those which are bearing down, Tata Steel, of course, down around 2.5% after poor sales numbers coming in for the third quarter. Bharti Infratel looking at perhaps a bout of profit taking, and JSW Steel also declining in trade. But on the whole, Alex, it's been another quiet day of trade with the benchmarks, range-bound for now.
All right, well, let's start by introducing our experts for the day. We've got Gaurang, Shah of Geojit Financial Services, and we've got Sameet, Chavan of Angel Broking. They're both here to answer all of your questions. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. I want to start, in fact, I was reading this very interesting mail query. Kapil Mehta has written us a mail. He wants to know which is better between Safari Industries and VIP Industries. Now, quite an interesting question, wouldn't you say, Gaurang? From what I can see on the Bloomberg, both of them have similar price to earnings ratio estimates for the current financial year. How do you rate the two, and which would you pick for the long term?
Well, thank you, Alex, and good afternoon to all the viewers and to your team. Unfortunately, we don't cover either Safari or VIP on the fundamental side, but I have looked at the performance of VIP Industries, and also keeping in mind that, those dark days of China dumping cheap luggage onto the Indian shores and ports are now thing of the past. And if I have to reflect upon the earnings, I think VIP Industries has performed well. Unfortunately, I will not be able to comment directly buy, sell and hold because we don't have coverage.
Okay, well, there you have it. Unfortunately, we won't have too much of a view on VIP or Safari, but if I can take up VIP, at least Industries with Sameet, and take a look at how the technicals are doing, because I'm sure we'll have a lot more data here. It's down by around 0.4% at around 507. Sameet, what would you do with VIP Industries at this point?
See, this stock has given stellar moves in the period of 2016 to the first half of 2018. However, since last 6 months, the stock has been consolidating. It underwent some kind of price-wise correction as well, in the midst of October. But now we believe that the stock is now in a consolidation mode. If I just look at the price-wise, there is no encouraging sign. Volume-wise also, there is no participation seen. So we expect this continuation of this consolidation mode. If I have to see any particular level, then 540, 550, these are the next levels to watch out for in the upward direction. If the stock manages to surpass this level with decent volume, then only we could see some kind of action coming back to this particular stock. But as of now, there is no major sign. On the lower side, 480 remains to be a very strong support.
All right, let's pull up the chart for RBL Bank. It's currently trading at 575 thereabouts. if I can, yeah, so 575, about 1.8% higher. We've got Krunal Siddhapatak, who's written us a mail. He wants to buy RBL Bank in an SIP form. He's already holding shares at an average price of 560 rupees. So he's making a marginal gain, but he's not looking at near-term gains in any case. He's got a 5-year view and he plans to add more in an SIP format. Gaurang, would you recommend that he focus only on RBL Bank in the financials pack, or would you say that you should split it perhaps between RBL and some other name that you have?
So, a couple of word of advice, if you will, Alex, to Krunal. First of all, he's picked up a right bank in the private sector, recent edition, if you will, for an SIP, which I have always recommended to any investor, however big, small or medium the investor is. Whenever it comes to investing into equity market, you should not hurry to buy the stock into the stock market, but you should always be in a hurry to sell the stock when you get the kind of return that you want. So that's the principle that I followed. I would advise him to do that. Second advice I would give is don't ever overexpose yourself with any particular sector or a particular stock within that sector, because it always leads to high elevated risk. Not that investing into equity market is lesser risk, it is always elevated risk, but you expose yourself to a higher risk if you happen to invest only in one sector and one stock. So diversify is the word of the game. And you bought RBL Bank, you want to buy more, but don't overexpose or don't allocate large size of your capital to RBL Bank, because that is not advisable. Look at FMCG, something like in mid cap ideas, Dabur, Marico, Godrej Consumer, Godrej Agro, something like private sector bank. If you want one more addition, then either from Axis or ICICI, you can choose any of them. NBFCs, Bajaj Finance or an L&T Finance and Holding would be preferred. And if I have to go one more step forward, given the correction in the auto space, M&M or Escorts, either of them you can pick.
Okay, there you have it. Moving on to something like Z Entertainment. We need a technical view on Z Entertainment because we have Raghunathan, who has bought Z Entertainment at 505. His question is, do I hold, average or sell? That's the question, considering a 3-month view. Sameet, what is your view on Z Entertainment now, and what would you advise Raghunath to do with his position?
See, since last 3 months, the stock has been consolidating in a range. There is no clear direction as such. It's been oscillating within the broad range of 500 on the higher side, lower side 430, 440. And recently we saw some kind of buying emerging from the lower levels of 430, 440. However, with a near-term view, 470, 475 seems to be a very strong resistance. So within this major consolidation, 475 is the immediate resistance level. Once we see this stock surpassing 475, yes, you can definitely average it out. Immediate level to watch out for would be around 500, 520. So as of now, you can hold on at least. Keep a stop loss below 435. So that seems to be a very strong support. And if you want to average it out, buy with some kind of confirmation beyond 475.
All right, we've got several people still asking about Bandhan Bank and Growth Finance in the context of the acquisition really that came to light just a short while back. But Gaurang, I'm guessing that you've had a little time to look at this and all that it means for Bandhan and obviously Grow and the investors of these two banks. We've got a question from Neeraj Chauhan. He says that he's holding Bandhan Bank shares at 420 and he's looking to add more. And after the fall over the last 2 days, based on the swap ratio, according to him, buying Growth Finance looks more beneficial. Which one should he pick?
Well, if you are getting the sense and your wisdom tells you that Gru is a better investment idea, you can do that, Alex, because eventually you will end up getting Bandhan Bank shares. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, and according to me, Alex, I think it's a win-win situation for both shareholders, Bandhan Bank as well as Gru. Let us not forget, Gru is a very niche and marquee name in the housing finance companies, belonging to a very credible corporate name, entity. And my sense is that as and when already the merger is approved, done and dusted, and as and when the synergies kick up in terms of the merged entity working as one, and over a longer period of time, the view at our end is that the earnings are going to be much, much stronger than what we are looking at right now. So if your wisdom tells you, then you should buy Group Finance shares, then I'll leave it up to your fine sense of judgment. But according to me, you are better off either buying Bandhan Bank or buying Group Finance.
All right. I'm going to talk about Infosys because we have two viewers. One is Ram Hegde on Facebook and the other one is Riddhish Shah on YouTube, who both want a view on Infosys, and I'm going to take a fundamental view as well as a technical view. Of course, we all know that the board has also announced that they are going to consider a buyback as well as special dividend on the 11th, that is this coming Friday, while it also considers its quarterly earnings. Gaurang, let me come to you first. How would you pitch Infosys in comparison to perhaps some of the other IT companies in the large cap space? And what do you think are the prospects if one were to actually put in some money right now in the long term?
So let me say this. Infosys is a stock which has weathered a lot of turbulent times and earnings degrowth. Lack of leadership, lack of clarity, spat between the founder promoter and the new candidate that was given the responsibility to take the company out of the troubled times, etc., etc. Now, of course, we have a new gentleman, Mr. Parekh, who is overlooking the growth. We remain positive on Infosys. 785 to 825 is the target over a longer period of time. If I have to reflect upon, Agam, how Infosys has performed vis-a-vis the peers like HCL Tech or a TCS, then HCL Tech and TCS perform better than Infosys. But again, Indian IT companies, whether it is large cap or mid cap, we believe have tremendous potentials, whether it is to do with cloud, digital, artificial intelligence, or any other platform of creating services and creating products and making them available in a new platform. So we like Infosys from a long-term point of view. And we also like mid-cap IT names, L&T Infotech Technologies, Science Limited, NIT Technologies, Mindtree and Persistent Systems. These are some other investment idea in the mid-cap IT.
Okay. So there you have it. Well, that's Gaurang's preferences when it comes to information technology companies. But moving on to Sameet for the technical view here. Sameet, how are you reading clues in the technical arena? Perhaps if you could also tell us about the development in the futures and options space. How are you expecting the stock to move in the near term, especially given the fact that we are expecting earnings to come through this coming Friday?
See, to be honest, we have not been actively participating in the entire IT space since the early part of October. This is the time when this entire zone started correcting a bit. It underwent some kind of price-wise correction, and now we are seeing some kind of time-wise consolidation. Yes, it was quite overdue. The entire space has seen massive rally over the past 10 to 12 months. So we were expecting some kind of consolidation. It started with some kind of price-wise correction first, and then since last couple of months, we are witnessing a time-wise consolidation. It might continue a bit. As far as Infosys goes, 640 seems to be very strong support. It's been oscillating within the boundaries of a triangular pattern. So lower end is somewhere around 640, 630, which seems to be very strong support. And on the higher side, 700 to 680 is the level to watch out for. As far as derivative data goes, we are not seeing any major action in this. Yes, today we are seeing some traction, but overall we need this prices to stable above its important resistance zone. So 690 to 700 is the zone to watch out for. If the stock managed to surpass 700, we could see a good strong move towards 730, 740. But till then, we expect this consolidation to continue.
All right. Well, there's an interesting question from Joby Elias, and he's spoken about what he thinks in very plain terms. I'm going to couch that a little differently, if I may. Gaurang, this question is about Reliance Nippon Asset Management. What Joby is wondering is what the long-term prospects are, and I'm going to change his question slightly. the fortunes of some of the peer companies in that group have not been as great. So he's wondering, considering the kind of fortunes that they've had, whether the long-term prospects of this company would be something to worry about.
So his concerns are well validated and well respected and honored by me, Alex. ADAG Group has been a wealth destroyer. I will not mince words. I'll put it very clearly. I'm not a kind of person who always minces words. So ADAG Group has been a wealth destroyer. They will continue to do that for I don't know how many years to come, because there is no clarity, there is no vision, there is lack of leadership, and whatever they have said in the recent times in terms of debt restructuring, they have failed to meet up their commitment. Let me be very honest. I think we all remember the great press conference that Mr. Anil Ambani had in terms of restructuring the debt and making Arcom viable. Now, where is that date and where is that time and where is that money and where is the debt come down is a big question mark. There are better names, my friend. If you want to look at life insurance related or a housing finance related kind of entities, then as a merged entity, I just named one of them. L&T Finance and Holding is a very capable company, very respectable corporate house, very credible name, no corporate governance ethics issues, any sort whatsoever. Or if you want to look at life insurance companies, then you can pick and choose from three of them: HDFC Life, SBI Life, and ICICI Prudential.
Okay, Gaurang, we have one more question, but this one is on Tata Elxsi, of course, again from the IT pack. But Tata Elxsi, as we all know, their business model is a tad different from the rest. We have Ankit Goyal, who wants a long-term view on this one. Do you track this one, Gaurang?
So again, Agam, I have looked at the balance sheet, I have looked at the performance. Credible name, like you rightly said, they have a different business model and a different way of doing things. And that is what attracts me to the stock. But unfortunately, because of regulation, since there is no coverage, I can't specifically comment on buy, sell and hold.
Okay, we've got a short-term query on a WhatsApp query, this one from Manish Parikh, and he's asking about two companies, IndusInd Bank and Reliance Industries. IndusInd, of course, we're expecting the numbers to come out any time now. What are the views here, Sameet? I'm thinking of Sameet because Sameet tracks Reliance Industries, but Sameet, what's the view on Reliance and on IndusInd with the short-term?
So since last couple of weeks, we have been seeing, divergence in the private banking space. Some of the larger peers like, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, they are on a roll. They are seeing massive move in last, couple of weeks. However, within the mid-cap private banking space, KTK, Federal Bank, and DCB, they seems to have, attracted a good buying interest. But IndusInd Bank, after a massive rally, the stock corrected and it's now undergoing some kind of consolidation period. It is quite similar to the the entire Nifty IT space. The chart structure is quite similar. So as far as levels goes, 1630, 1640 for IndusInd Bank remains to be a very strong resistance, and it would be a trigger point for fresh leg of the rally. On the lower side, 1550 to 1540 would be seen as immediate. So as of now, we expect this range bound action to continue within this range of 1630 on the higher side and 1550 on the lower side.
Okay, well, we have another very interesting query on Delta Corp. We need a technical view on Delta Corp, where we have our viewer Richa. She's written to us on WhatsApp. She's entered Delta Corp at 249 and she wants to know what can be done. She's holding it at, so she's looking at a little bit of a profit right now, a 20-point profit. Sameet, would you advise Richa to book profits or hold on with trailing stop losses?
See, as a disclosure, we are a bit on this stock and we have recommended this to our clients as well on Monday, somewhere around 260, and it is a near-term call. We expect this stock to head higher from current level. 290 to 298 is our near-term target. It is with a view of 2 months. So it certainly looks good, and since last 2 days the stock has seen good traction. If you look at the overall volume activity in the cash segment, it has risen substantially. So overall structure looks good. She can trail her stop loss now around 260, which seems to be very strong support. And from here on, first target would be around 282, and with a couple of months time horizon, we expect this stock to head toward 298 as well.
All right, that response I think holds true for Satish Macharla also, who's asking about Delta Corp. He bought at 260 levels, so that's exactly the level that Sameet had advised to his clients, so that's a good pick there. Let's get Tata Steel in. We've got a couple of viewers. Ram is asking about Tata Steel. We've also got Ram Prasad Nutaki, who's asking on multiple platforms about Tata Steel. He's asking what the call is. Gaurang, on the fundamentals, how are you rating this company, and would you recommend a fresh entry?
It's very strong in terms of credible fundamental coverage and parameters that we put in place to analyze the company. I know because of China PMI, there are a lot of concerns on the entire metal pack. But we just heard that Mr. Donald Trump, President of United States of America, and Mr. Xi Jinping, President of China, are about to smoke the pipe of peace as far as trade wars are concerned. I think this should not only revive commodity market and see uptick in crude oil prices to maybe a little bit elevated level, but also the entire metal prices. And in the domestic front, on the domestic front, Alex, we are extremely excited about the consumption theme and the kind of infrastructure built up that the government is planned up. 765 is the long-term target with a 2.5 year time horizon. So if you have that much of time, hold on, and maybe sub 480 would be a great level to average as well.
All right. Let's get in another technical view on Merck. We have a question from Sid Spurs, who has entered Merck at around 3,050 levels. He wants a view with a horizon of 1 to 3 months. It's currently at around 3,250, so he's clearly sitting on a 200-point profit at this point in time. So Sid Spurs, also known as Arun, wants to know a technical view. Sameet, how would you help him out?
See, this is certainly not a trader's favorite counter. This stock is a low beta counter, and hence it is mostly tracked by the investors who have a time horizon of more than 6 months or so. Yes, as far as price action goes, it certainly looks quite encouraging after enjoying strong bull run for nearly 2 to 3 years. The stock has been consolidating of late, and since last 3 days again we are seeing good positive traction in this counter. So today the stock is on the verge of a breakout from the its recent hurdle of 3,300. So we believe that over the next few weeks the stock can easily head towards 3,600 or beyond also. So one should stay put, keep a stop loss below 3,000, which seems to be a very strong support.
Okay, so one of the banks that is in focus ahead of a potential announcement today is in fact Yes Bank. Let's pull up the chart and see where it's currently trading. Remember, the stock has been under tremendous pressure all the way from around September or towards the end of August, in fact, where you saw a significant fall in the share price. A lot of fundamental analysts have weighed in talking about the fact that they don't know where it's heading in terms of the leadership, because that's exactly what the board is going to decide today. Apparently, what we're hearing is that they will decide on a new MD and CEO who will take over from Rana Kapoor, who's set to exit at the end of January. Gaurang, you want to come in on this one? Would you first of all wait for the announcement? Of course, I know that you don't time the market, but how are you rating the bank?
Well, we have maintained a buy coverage for a very long time. And even since September, when there were all these negative news flows and the stock corrected quite sharply, we maintained our positive stance. At current price, or the correction that we've already seen, all the negative news flows are already there in the price, Alex. There is only positivity now going forward from here on. You had more than half a dozen board members resigning. You have 3 names that have gone to the authorities. 1 name would be possibly out, and all 3 names are very credible, let me say that, and have tremendous amount of experience that they carry along with them. In terms of rejuvenating the bank with new business strategies and bringing back the lost glory, I don't think that's going to be very difficult. Right. The question that you have to ask...
Gaurav, pardon me to interrupt you there, because we have a lot of queries, so we are going to instantly hit the rapid fire round, and perhaps we can have a chat with you on this one, send the rest of your comments to the viewer in just a bit. So with that, we're going to go across to that one. Okay, Gaurang, so we want another fundamental view on Repro India. Do you track this counter?
So long term, if you are there into it, invested, hold on for long term.
What's your view, Gaurang, on Kolte Patil? We've got a viewer, Rajas Doshi, asking whether it can do well in the near term, or not near term, but medium term.
So can't comment on medium term, but you are already invested, then sell on rally. Godrej Properties or Mahindra Life would be preferred investment bets in the real estate bank.
Okay, Sameet, Larsen and Toubro, this one's for you. Well, Chandrasekhar has entered at 1388. He wants to know what can be done.
See, this stock is consolidating, and since last 4 days it has come off a bit from its recent highs. However, it is trading around an important support. So hold with a stop loss of 1374 on the higher side, 1420, 1425. These are the levels to watch out for.
Rain Industries, this question is from Karan Singh. Bought at 200, Gaurang, 52-week low on the counter today. What's the call?
So let me give a word of advice, Alex. Rain Industries, HEG and Graphite. Whoever is invested, please be very, very careful. I will not comment buy, sell and hold because you don't cover either of them.
Okay, well, another question, and perhaps we can take a Tata Steel technical check here as well. This one's from Ram Prasad. Sameet, your view on Tata Steel?
See, clearly in last 2 to 3 months, we have already seen, massive correction in the entire metal space. But we are, contra buyers now, not with a momentum view, but those who have a time horizon of 3 to 6 months, they should start accumulating this stock in a staggered manner, and this is what we have been recommending since last couple of weeks as well.
Okay, Shankar Azmira, Gaurang wants to know about Navkar Corporation. Would you recommend holding on? He's currently invested.
We don't have coverage, can't comment.
Okay, guys, on that note, we're going to thank both our experts, Gaurang and Sameet, for joining us and taking us through their views. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Ask BQ. Up next is Power Lunch. Keep watching.